So you know, when I look at the power of female bodybuilding, I definitely refer back to Bev. When I look at the grace of female bodybuilding, then I look at Linda.
Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding. I'm Big Ron Partlow, Dusty Hanshaw, the producer Scott McNally. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
Yes, ring the bell. And today we have not 1, 2, 3, or 4, but 5-time Miss Olympia, Andrea Shaw.
Hey.
What's going on?
Man.
So last time you were on the show, I wasn't.
Yeah.
You remember that?
You've done that to me twice now.
Yeah.
I don't even remember
no,
why.
sorry, you did that once. Yeah, that guy.
You're stuck with me every
Love
time.
him. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you are.
Stay local. The state thing. You got to be together. Yeah.
Must be
Yeah.
the tariffs.
Yeah, I'm 25% late for everything.
Yeah. In the States.
Or I gotta leave 25% early.
Jim, come get him, man.
Yeah. So,
man.
so Dre, I have to say, you've always been popular at the Mutant booth. Even when you were just a lowly 3-time Miss Olympia. when did we sign you? Were you 1 time when we signed you?
I was 2 times, headed into the 3rd.
And then into the 3rd. Okay, so you were 2-time Miss Olympia when we signed you. And you were always popular at the booth. You know, people come by to see you. But you're the most popular now. Like,
Man.
you have had the steadiest line and the most people wanting to see you and, and the most people recognizing you and all that stuff. How do you feel about this reign of terror that you are holding over the women's bodybuilding category and this sheer domination that everyone just sort of accepts as a reality at this point? What's going on?
I mean, I it's what I hoped for, but that much more. You know, when you think about like those lowly beginners, amateur days, right? It's like
when you were going to be a physique girl?
Yeah, I started out in figure though.
Figure.
Had no business in figure. I had no business in figure because I was the quadzilla in figure.
Can you just leave the stage, please, Drea?
Right. We got a seat for you over here with some popcorn.
Yeah.
So you can feed those monster quads you got up there.
Yeah.
It's been really good though. Like, and every year with the Mutant booth, it's almost like there's a way that it levels up. And my excitement has grown every single year. I was just telling Annie that earlier. I was like, I still have the same excitement when I first met Jim. When we had that Mutant mansion. And I said, man, like this is I belong here.
Yeah.
And me and Clarita, we had a talk. We were like, we're not going nowhere. we like it here. Like this is where we belong. And it seems like every year it just amplifies. I can't explain it, but it does. And it's so good. Like to see Jim giving me my trophy.
Yeah.
Man.
Which that's really cool.
Yeah.
You've been able to do that, right?
It's like, who better?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, and I told him, he almost made me cry. I was like,
Well,
dang, dog.
we made you cry a few times when we brought out the 3-time T-shirts at the booth on Sunday that first year.
Blindsided with that one.
We would have had to
cool.
send those to foreign countries with the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl hats. And you know to mail those anywhere, right?
You saved the company a lot of money.
Show up in like pawn shops in Hong Kong and stuff like that. Hard to find items.
Yikes!
Yeah, but
You've built an expectation on that though. People were walking in line today like, "Where's our 5-time shirt?" I was like, "Don't ask me. I didn't."
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
I didn't do it.
No, but we've grown to be, of course, very excited to see you all the time, and you're a lot of fun to have around.
Ditto.
And
ditto.
and I do have to say, since we are bodybuilders, you're a bodybuilder still. This is and it's funny, the only women in the world you can use this word for. You're the biggest I've ever seen you.
Oh yeah,
That's
You're
got mad.
Your quads and stuff are just like completely exploding this year. And I don't know what is there a big body weight difference in like your normal off season, or are you actually lighter surprisingly and just bigger, or what's going on?
Well, it seems like every year with more details. That I've gotten more dense.
Yeah.
So like I had a point during the last prep where I was like, okay, I'm not like getting closer to 169, which was my usual.
Right.
But then I feel like Damien grew my legs. So I was telling Scott, I said, Scott, I'm like, I'm eating a lot of food, but I'm looking better.
Yeah.
And I was like, my mind was completely blown. So it was like, okay, I got on the scale, but it was like 189. And I'm like, but I'm shredded. I'm like, and we haven't filled me out yet. So like, compared to the fish days, well, there was still fish in the mix, but I was eating beef once a day. You know, still had fats going in, oils.
You were still fueling hard workouts.
Yeah, exactly.
In fairness, you're the only one that was surprised.
Yeah, we were not
We've been
surprised.
waiting for you to eat more and watch what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we have to. You know, we've had this discussion before, but we would get together with you and we would say how awesome you looked, and we would hear what you were doing, and we would talk to ourselves like, God, if I was eating that, I wouldn't have nothing.
Right.
I wouldn't even be able to train.
Hard to function. Yeah.
And I was like, can you, like, I don't know, maybe that just works for her, but for me, I would have to, like, for have any workout performance, I would have to be doing something different. And then when you change your game plan in your physique in the last year there, I mean, you had that glitch at the one show.
Yeah.
And then that got, like, heavily corrected.
Yeah, like big time.
And you changed things, and then it was like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing what we sort of suspected.
Yeah.
We would see.
And you know what? Thank you to both of you and you. The messages I got from y'all,
Oh.
because I went into a really dark place.
When
for
you
a
had the
couple
bad
days.
show there.
Yeah. Because, you know, I just knew it wasn't my best.
Right.
And I knew that, okay, whatever is like needing to be dealt with, I got to deal with it. And I got 7 weeks to get my act right.
Yeah.
So the messages from you guys meant a lot. Because then I'm like, you know what, my squad still got me. And I still got to stand and deliver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a hard shift, but it was worth it. And when I looked at the pictures I showed Scott yesterday, I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Man.
see any pictures.
you didn't see him?
Only Scott got the
man.
inside.
Wait
we got
until you
nothing.
see this.
We got nothing.
Dude. So when we got the feedback from the
Is
Rising
it safe to
Phoenix-
look at your screen while
It
you're
is.
looking through your
Real
phone?
I'm clean. I'm clean.
Look
I'm a good
away.
girl.
Look away.
I'm a
It's
good
just
girl.
a light thing to
So I'm
always
gonna-
do. You just always.
I
Right
tend
in
to
the
go out
screen.
the corner of the
See,
eye.
I was turning my back to people when I'm finding a picture, right? I gotta like.
Just in case.
Blush a little
So
bit.
if you both can see, this was 2023 and then 2024.
Yeah.
Harder, bigger, fuller.
Yeah. But
Even
when
your,
they said,
even your hair is more perfect. It's a little shine.
I refined everything in my rocky time away in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Arizona connection. That's,
That's
really
it.
what
I'm
is.
telling you, man.
know?
Lisa, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. And you know what? Every day down in Arizona, sunshine,
Oh, yeah.
like no rain.
You don't
It's
shovel
not-
snow.
No Detroit weather.
That's
No
it.
Detroit weather.
That's
right?
it. I got back to Michigan. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
You got to be
I
hard.
don't like this.
And it's is it less carjackings?
Oh, yeah.
Little
Oh,
bit?
yeah.
Okay.
Just a little more Spanish and much less crime.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, so we're very happy, and we saw you at the Olympia. You know, the second you came out and prejudging and did your thing, we were all just kind of like, oh, okay,
Wow.
well,
Yeah.
we can eat now.
Hey, right on. Right on. Everybody could like,
We had one of the judges walk over and we asked, we're like, you know, how was the 212? And he goes, like this. And I'm like, well how was women's bodybuilding? And he goes, and then walked away. Immediately
That's the way we
walked
wanted it.
away.
That's the way we wanted it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I learned so much throughout that 7 weeks. I mean, I didn't realize, and I think I underestimated the value of being able to have a more consistent, like carbs in consistently, that
Yep.
beef in consistently. And, you know, I didn't load up on carbs the day of the show. I got one cinnamon roll, but I felt so much more confident that, okay, a steady race,
Oh, yeah.
right? Rather than run the risk of like spilling over. I mean,
Sure.
there's one thing that Damien had mentioned. He's like, I don't want to spill you over.
Yeah.
'Cause if we go there's no
You can't
going
come back. Yeah, yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things Dusty and I mean, I've been lucky. All the coaches I ever had in my competing years always emphasized it. But when we worked with Aceto for a long time, both of us, and when we worked with Chris, the first thing he would ask, like, is how's workout quality?
Yep.
Like,
Word.
he didn't even care how I looked some days. He'd just call me. I remember my phone would ring. He'd go, "How was legs?" Right? And
What grade do you give it?
yeah, and then also too, I got to give credit to him. He would call me like Tuesday night at 7:30, which was when I was always done legs. And I'm thinking, does this guy?
Sleep.
How does he know I'm done legs? But he knows that his guys are locked in, so he knows I'm done legs. He'd call me, "How was legs?" And I'd say, yeah, it was good. My strength is the same. He'd be like, okay, so we can lean into it a bit then.
Yeah.
Right? Because like we're as long as workout quality was good, like it was very, very important.
Yeah,
You know,
and
you could
I
be,
see that
you could
now.
be starving to death, but if your workouts were good, we're okay. But
Exactly.
if the workouts are suffering, we got it. Let's do a day off, pump the carbs, double the carbs, that sort of thing. And hearing you talk more about focusing on workout quality and consistently being able to train really, really hard, I think is just a big part of your of how physique winds up looking.
Yeah, and I mean dialing in that efficiency. You know what I mean? Like within an hour, we were in and we were out.
Yep.
It's like get it done, move on, and then when Sunday rolls around, you're off. Like you can get steps in, but like you need to chill. And Scott knows I was a 7-day a week. I'm not taking no days off.
You said you were sleeping like 4 hours. 4 hours.
I was sleeping about 4 hours a night. Just
sometimes what did you tell me? You said sometimes that wasn't 4 hours straight.
Yo,
that was 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the Olympia.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You think max the suffering, max the results, right? Which is something I think we all we have that in us.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that you have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the formula.
Time and place.
Exactly. And you know, there is that slight risk of you pushing too much, right? And then you don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
That body needs that sleep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So how are you feeling now? We're sitting here, early March, I guess.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I know,
March
right?
already. And
like, gosh.
so you're looking at like what do you like?
About 8
months away.
Yeah.
So what's your timeline now? Like what you and your coach have worked out for timeline?
Yeah. So I will be going to Arizona July 21st to officially start prep. The first show will be September 13th. That'll be the Rising Phoenix because I got some unfinished business there.
Oh yeah.
Got some unfinished business. So that will
Can't leave any checks on the table.
That's it. Okay. That's it. Or bonuses. Shout out. Talk to me.
That's another check.
Hey, separate.
Yeah.
But the game plan is really so he took me down to one back day a week, which was tough. I love training back. Love training back. And I'm like, dude. And he was like, well, I need you fresh for when we start prep.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, so what can I do? And he's like, I want you 4 days a week of cardio, 30 minutes, no more than 30 minutes. That was another thing that changed.
That broke her heart.
The days of hour-long sessions, completely gone.
So did you buy a PS5 or something? We gotta kill some time now.
Soon.
No, since I had to get my steps in, I just walked
You gotta
outside.
be a real pro bodybuilder and start gaming.
Man, I'm
Twitch
like,
channel.
dude.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild, though? You look around, and it's like, I got free time? Like, what am I going to do? I meal prepped for a week and a half, so I'm like, good there.
Yeah.
Right.
30-minute sessions at a time. So I could do multiple 30 minutes.
Right.
But then, after my 2 30-minute sessions, because I'd have one post lift in the morning, and then I'd go home, get a few meals in, and then come back at 12, do another 30 minutes, get in the ice bath. I'm done for the day. I'm like,
now what?
this is wild. But I'm keeping consistent with that. So, we got 4 days, 30 minutes of cardio. Keep it simple. 2 leg days, and I can have one of those to be like a glute ham day. So that's what we kept in prep. And then another day, just a total overall leg day.
Right.
When I look at your physique, I don't really see anything that needs to catch up to anything else. I just think everything is just exactly the proportion it should be.
Yeah.
Is that how you guys look at your pictures too?
Yeah. And he's like, we're just sharpening details at this point.
So I know Iris has 11 Olympias, right? Am I correct?
10.
Is that 10?
10. And she told me to break the record.
Right.
So,
okay, now how many Corey? What Corey have 5?
she should have 6.
I think
6.
yeah,
6. And then Lenda was like 7, 8.
8.
Yep.
And they had the weird year where they had the lightweight and the heavyweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that in there. So, you're creeping up on Corey now.
Yeah.
How does that, is that weird to you? To think
Yeah.
Corey Everson has 6, Dorian Yates has 6.
Yeah.
Right? Like this sort of thing.
I feel like I'm entering like an era of this is where you really start getting that extra notability. Like, okay, you've reached this benchmark and it's a big one.
And you're like, I'm accountable to myself to be to my chance to be in this club.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the Legends Club.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like true living legend stuff right there. Like once you get to 6 and beyond, you submit it. in my opinion. Like, you're
Yeah.
submitted. Like, you're in a group of people that are like in the upper echelon of like
Ever.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, I'm trying to take this off season really, really serious. So like I told Scott, I'm like, we're doing leg days the way they're structured and the off days the way they're structured. But taking off days is hard for me. It's hard because I'm so used to just, I'm a hard worker. Y'all know that.
Bodybuilding, you want to push and do more.
Yeah. And I like
achieve
checking the
more,
boxes.
and yeah.
And I mean, you all have seen me train. I like training hard. I like training hot and heavy. So like to have a day off and not do that. But I said, okay, I got to play the game smart because longevity
Right, yes.
is part of this equation too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I started getting into acupuncture down in Arizona.
Yep.
Weirded me out at first, but getting into E-stem where he would work my legs so hard, we needed to get in there and get the hamstrings and the glutes to relax.
Yep.
Because then it's like, okay, once we relax them, then they're ready for the next leg day that comes along.
Yeah.
So we're strategizing so differently now. So like when I go to Arizona next week, I'll get to see her again.
Yep.
And I'm already set up on the schedule for when I go back for prep. So
Where are you training at when you go to Arizona?
Muscle Factory.
Of course.
Of course. And
think I asked?
Damien's Gym, Pro Physiques. We'll train there, and then I'll kind of go over to Muscle Factory, get my extra credit in. That
Go
leg
over
room,
and say hi to Lance.
that's the jam, man.
Right.
That posing room, the leg gym, the upper body equipment. Oh, I love it over there. It's good.
Yeah.
So,
you
yeah.
can thank Dusty for a lot of the.
Word.
Slowly piecing it together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When Tommy took me in there, I was like, dude, this is dope.
He's got a real sweet
And they got some
gym
good
there.
old school stuff in
Yeah.
there too. Sidebeck stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna get good and sore up in here.
What about, is there any specific exercises that you and Damien have put into the workout that you weren't doing before?
Oh.
Is he specifically told you, I really need you doing these or these or these?
Yeah. You know what? Something that I stopped doing that came back? Hack squat.
Okay.
Hack squat.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, man, he grew my glutes so I was like, am I gonna fit in this suit?
Right.
Oh, I'd never seen my glutes that full
Right.
leading into a show.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, he brought those back. We started doing the hypers, but we were, hamstring focused on
Yeah.
And he would have me not only do them on the back extension machine, but also that one where it's completely upright.
Yep.
And you're tilting over.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So both.
I mean, they burn.
Because they
And
have different hardest points. Like the flat one is hardest at the full contraction.
Exactly.
And then the other one's like kind of more mid-range.
Exactly.
Or are you holding weights? Or are you using bands? What are you
Holding
doing?
weights.
Yeah, holding weights.
No more than 15 pounds.
Yeah.
But by the time we get to the end of the workout, because they're always put there as finishers,
Yeah. Because
I mean, you're
you
fried.
can't really do them as a starter exercise. You're holding
The workout's over then.
Holding 405. Yeah.
Yeah, don't look to get deep on that squat or
It just
anything else
becomes
that you're doing.
impractical at that point. Yeah.
So listen, too, I want to throw this in there, Ron. So she said that she's going out there in July. That means like you are locking down at that time. That's going to
100%.
be, I think, a big difference this year.
100%.
Like locking down hard.
Yeah.
Getting
Like
away
remove
from
all distractions.
Yes, and you're getting down to business at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be
Yeah.
the biggest difference maker is
Oh, yeah.
having all that consistency, all the sleep that you're getting now,
Yeah.
being on track, having your coach right there with you on a very
Yeah.
regular basis.
Exactly.
To me, that's going to be, I
Yeah.
think, it's going to be kind of
It's
scary
gonna
to see what happens out of that.
Ooh, okay. And that's why I told him, I mean, we talked about 12 weeks, but I'm like, you know what, let's add another 2 on.
Yeah.
I just like being ready early.
Right.
That way it's a coasting game. It's not a hurry up and get ready game. You know what I mean?
Is there anything? I used to have a thing. I did a couple of preps where I made myself go to a movie every week,
Okay.
just as like, just take a couple hours to feel like a normal human that is okay with being around society,
Yes.
right? Because you get locked down and you can really turn into a hermit, right?
Exactly.
Is there anything that you do to try to just take turn your brain off a prep and almost forget what you're doing for
Yes.
a little period of time?
Oh yeah, on rest day, it was always a matter of I got to get outside. I wanted to get outside, and Arizona's so beautiful, right? I mean, I just would walk anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
And just walk. And even though it's hot outside, it's still enjoyable because I'm just engaging in like sightseeing.
Yeah.
And it's so different from Michigan. You know, I see cacti, you know, all the pigeons. They got a pigeon problem down there, bro. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. I'm like, where all these feathers come from?
Where the fuck are these fucking shit rats?
I mean, they're everywhere. Hey, I see a truck drive by on the freeway, and they're like pigeon control. And I'm like, it's that bad down there? Whoa.
She didn't know.
It just
Yeah.
Pigeons and cats.
Yeah, we call them flying rats.
You should have
know
told
that.
me about this.
I
But now I know.
I had to see the good stuff first before she bumped into
Right on.
Yeah.
But
Leave
things
that-
like arbitratories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just really like just getting grounded with like nature, going to the peaceful place, because calming I think the physiology down helped prepare me for the Monday workout that was coming, right? And we always started off the week with legs, and then, you know, every Thursday legs. So it was always good to just really have that time just to don't think, no phones, no music, like just nature.
Do you ever do
Love
do
that.
stuff like, I remember several preps, I'd put pictures on my fridge. You know, I'd have Ronnie Coleman's back double on my fridge, or I'd have Dorian's lat spread on my fridge, or, you know, pictures of Sean. I'd had a picture of Sean Ray one time. I put a picture of Sean Ray like on my bathroom mirror, because I was like, that's like
You're like, I'm getting
perfection,
ready
you know
for the
what I mean?
2025 Expo at the Arnold.
Yeah, I gotta get ready for
That was last month.
Yeah, that was just this year actually. But what pictures do you see of the greats in your division that you think, man, that's inspiring to me? Because you're almost your own picture that could have, like, you know what I mean? Like at this point,
Andrea's on my
You
report.
put your own picture up.
she's like, I just have pictures of me everywhere. I don't know what
There
you're
you go.
talking about.
That's all I need.
I
But
did the
you know what I mean?
side-by-sides.
Yeah, like, do you like, what do you see where you're like, man, like that's a little bit of that I want. Like I want to
Yeah.
put that in my physique.
Yeah, I tell you, Bev Weinberger had the best striated chest I think I've ever seen on a female.
Oh yeah.
Like, look, like, dude, it was outstanding. You could see all the fibers coming off that sternum. It's just,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, her pecs.
She had that powerlifting background with the chest. Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, she was hardcore, man. I got a chance to chat with her at New York Pro about 2 years ago. She was really into it. I got much respect for Bev. And she's like, you know, I think I'm responsible for the division taking this.
Oh, yeah.
I said, but we love it, Bev. Like, don't apologize for it. You made room for me. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I've
See-
always been a big girl, so.
So yeah, because like you know, I started in 1990 when I was a kid. So my first Mr. Olympia was Lee Haney and Corey, right? And then Bev was second, right? But I remember her pictures were the freaky, like they were like holy, like she's more shredded. She's as shredded as
Than the
anybody
dudes.
else in the men's.
Oh yeah.
And so that was like, I remember it was like, and it was the controversy, like, should she be winning? Like, you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool that you go all the way. I
All the
wasn't
way
expecting
back.
you to say
I
that.
know.
I thought you were going to say something like, I was expecting you to mention Lenda.
I do.
You know,
so you know, when I look at the power of female bodybuilding, I definitely refer back to Bev. When I look at the grace of female bodybuilding, then I look at Linda.
Yeah.
So finding that balance between the two. Because, I mean, Bev hit a front double, and then the most muscular, like it was nobody's business.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like the most muscular?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of the women weren't even hitting the most muscular.
Not at all.
No.
Right? But
Not
she
at
was
all.
like
She was
crab
the only
shotting
one.
everybody.
Well, you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to do it once she did it.
No.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm good.
It's like
I'm good.
Sergio's victory pose.
Yeah,
it's like,
leave
nah,
that alone.
I'm okay.
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
You-
I was wondering with the Arizona switch last year, did you have any, like now that you're leading into this show with, for me, like I look at the environment there between, like you said, the coaching, the gyms, the therapies, like, is that a new land where you kind of feel like you have a crew around you because you have like a team? I mean, you've got mutants, you've got your coaches, but I mean, that area there, it's like a bodybuilding haven where you go there to get better. Are you feeling like there's going to be a lot of advancement with that team behind the scenes there for you as well?
100%. And you know what? That team existed. That's one thing about Arizona. That team existed at both gyms.
Yeah.
You know, Damien set the environment there with Whitney being there and the other competitors being there. Like when you go in there, people are not just in there chatting, talking, right? You say what's up and you go about your business. You get your work done. But, you know, the other gyms the exact same way. When I first got in there, I was like, you know what? Okay. I mean, and some people knew who I was. They just left me alone.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, we know you're here. If you need anything, just let us know. And it was like, it's a good vibe and a good environment. I actually ran into an old friend who used to live in Michigan, who works out there. And she walks in, and I'm like, holy crap, what are you doing here? But she's just one of those up and left Michigan, but she trains really hard. We used to work out together. And when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, it's like I'm supposed to be here.
Right.
Supposed to be here at home. And then she would help me with my posing. So we took her over to the other gym, and I'm like, all right, you got to do my holds for me. So she like getting the timer ready, holding my poses for 30 seconds, then 45, then a minute. It all kind of played in together. I'm holding those poses for a minute is no joke.
No.
Oh yeah.
You got 7 poses for a minute, and that's just one round?
Yeah.
Oh.
How many rounds? How many
Cool.
rounds you do?
How many rounds?
Like that,
3.
yeah.
I started off with 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
But you can do that. You can do that anywhere.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And once you refine it, right, then you can hit it, and you're more confident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it was like the environment set the tone for, I'm going to make it.
Right.
I'm going to
Yeah,
make
oh,
it
yeah.
because this is the environment. These people are serious. They take it serious.
Yeah.
And if I need help, they're ready. They're ready to help.
Well, I'll tell you what I think is probably going to happen. You know, we had Venice for years. We had Venice and Bevs, you know, and everyone sort of gravitated to, you know, golds or Bevs. And then Vegas became sort of another mecca. Everyone's, you know,
Yep.
property's cheaper and guys
Right.
moving in there. They
Income
can
tax.
you know,
Right.
and so that became a little bodybuilding mecca there with a lot of guys going to train at Dragon's Lair and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
right? And when you get, you know, athletes like 5-time Miss Olympia starts doing her camp there,
Yep.
a lot of other athletes start to go, maybe that's the place to be, and
Right.
Yep.
and start to bring more athletes there, and it starts to develop that community, and you start to see, there's another champ showing up, and another champ has moved here.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking of moving there, and
Yeah.
Dusty's even mentioned moving back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I told him, I said, listen, we got to set this up right.
Yeah. So
Got to coordinate this.
And of course, if Dusty moves back, now I'm going on vacation. And,
I think I'm
Then
gonna
we're all
start investing
converging on
in-
Arizona. The
I'm gonna
Mutants
start
take over
investing in,
Arizona.
like, bodybuilding Airbnbs.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right now. That's it. Set it up.
massive economy.
That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's we're very excited for you. In a way, it's like you're 5-time Miss Olympia, but now you're gonna get serious.
That's it. This is like next level series. It's like, okay, that was a little light play at first, but now it's extra serious. And it was cool, you know, actually, because, you know, I'm a promoter now.
Yep.
So there were some people who did my show who noticed me in the gym. And they're like, hey, you know, you put on such a great show. I'm doing the show again this year. If you need anything, just let us know. And it's like,
Love that.
I'm in the right spot.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your show. What's the
Oh,
plan?
man.
What's the plan?
So the show is April 5th. We had this goal to...
And where is it? Tell us the whole
It's
thing.
in Mesa. So for right now, we're keeping it in Mesa.
Yep.
It just makes more sense venue-wise for us because we need that kind
I'm
of
Canadian.
space.
I don't know where Mesa is.
Arizona.
Okay, don't worry. You
Okay.
come on down to Arizona. Oh, sorry. Yeah, tariffs.
I have 25% less knowledge.
That's right. I'm going to charge you to borrow some of my knowledge, sir. So yeah, Mesa, Arizona, April 5th. And we've got Sandy Williamson, who's head judging.
Yep.
And then there are Whitney Jones, who's 3-time Miss Fitness Olympia. Sid Gillen, 8-time Miss Figure Olympia. And then myself. We decided to put this on, though, because obviously these divisions were no longer offered at the Arnold.
Yep.
And we said, you know what, we still want to give the ladies who want a platform to compete, to do it early and get qualified early, a chance to do so. And we started up at the prize money,
Nice.
so which has been wonderful. I can't wait to see the ladies show up. So figures at 10 grand almost, and then I'm at 7 grand so far for the women's bodybuilding division.
All
Nice.
right.
Yeah, so this is where, you know, you got to give back.
Yeah.
You know, I say you can complain all you want. Doesn't matter, not going to change anything. Or you can
Yeah.
be boots on the ground and get something done.
Right.
So yeah, this is our second year. We did really well last year.
Oh, it was real popular.
We
I had a
did
lot. of
really
feedback.
well last year.
Really.
Yeah,
They ran their first show like it was their 100th.
it's 100%. You should see the trophies, man. We gave these big old glass bowls. We
Yeah.
got these big tall crowns. Like, we did it up. We
nice.
love to spoil them because then, you know, the experience is what brings them back.
Oh yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing that's gotten missing since I started is that used to be a big deal. Like my first show, like a 3rd place finish, there's this huge trophy, and I was like, holy. And then you move up the ranks, and like pro shows were like barely anything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a little backwards. and yeah, the prize money obviously everybody wants, but that gets spent.
Right.
You know, your mom wants those trophies.
Right.
I say your mom because my mom took all of mine. I never took one home. But she wants them, so make them cool so mom has something cool in her house.
Word. And I mean, you order enough in bulk, you'll get a discount.
Yeah.
No tariffs.
And I mean, I could tell you, like, I mean, we're promoting a show too. We got the West Coast Iron Van City Showdown, right, every year.
Yeah.
And we're into our, like, I believe it's our 7th year now.
That's so cool.
And we do a 2-day show because we do an open show and a natty show.
Oh, sweet.
Right. And we had a 212 pro division at a few of them. And we're going to have, this year, we're going to have some natural pro divisions
I like it.
on the natty day.
I like it.
So, and we've been growing that. And the number one thing that has grown our show has been the athlete experience.
Yes.
Yep.
And we have put absolutely all of our attention into the athlete experience and making sure that lighting is good so their pictures are good. And that's like, those two things are focused like up here, and then everything else is like we're gonna do it, but these things are so super important.
Yeah, exactly.
And so yeah, when you know, I think that's important when promoters know that that's, you know, like yourself, a competitor.
Yeah,
so you know,
exactly.
like
it's important. And I mean, we hired Gilco to come in. Everybody knows Gilco is like killing it in the video game. So it was like, you know what, it made sense. If you set it up right the first time, you don't have to go back and start fixing stuff.
Yep.
You know, you're gonna have the stuff that you can't account for, that you just kind of gotta, you know, weed through and sort through, and okay, this didn't work, gotta switch that out, find a better option for this. But for the most part, the important things we wanted to take care of up front.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, if we can lock them in every year, that's what we're gonna do, because we know that they're the best. And we lock Sandy in, God willing, every year when we know she's the best. But we do have an alternate, right? Just in case she can't make it, because we understand things come up. But we're trying to get these girls who really want the opportunity to have Olympia level judges be their, you know, eyes, right?
Yep.
To watch them, to see them, to give them that feedback. And again, we do it early enough. They got plenty of time the rest of the season. If they get qualified, then great. But if not, hey, they got feedback early in the game to really start making those changes and get ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Drea. It's been great to have you. You know, I feel like I must have missed a bunch of stuff not being on with you before.
That's
Like,
okay. That's that less 25%.
we
can't let him have 100.
Well, we gotta have you. We gotta have you come on the regular episodes here. Maybe as soon as you hit camp, we can bring you in.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know,
That'd be great.
you know, 3, 4, 5 weeks into camp, we can get like a kind of prelim, how's it going episode with you.
Yeah,
and talk
I would
to
love
you.
that.
So that'd be great.
I would love that. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Man. Thanks, guys.
You bet.
Absolutely.
5-time Miss Olympia, Andrea Shaw, going for the 6-time club.
Yes.
Okay? Become a member of that
the
6-time
exclusive club.
The very exclusive 6-time club. Yeah, very few people. So remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Ring the bell.
And of course, IamMutant.com. Go to IamMutant.com, get your ISO surge, get your all in, and everybody's got to get on the gear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go see Luke to get your gear. The biggest
right.
gear dealer in the whole expo.
Yeah.
Right there at
And
the
wait
counter.
a minute, we're in another place now.
Yeah.
We're offering our products
Yeah.
in a very great supplement store.
Luke's walking around
That's very
slinging gear,
valid.
putting it in all the bags, dropping samples of gear in everybody's bag. That's how it's done. You know, just like the old days, Dusty.
We don't do brown paper bags, but it's the
No. Okay. Thanks, everybody. And remember, it's just bodybuilding.